Colt State Park in Bristol, Rhode Island. Should you go? What can you do there? And is it good for couples? I answer that and a whole lot more next. Colt State Park. What a gem this place is. It's got bike paths, water, a dreaming tree, deer roaming the grounds. It just doesn't get any better. And it's one of our favorite parks in Rhode Island. We had lived in the area for a couple of years before we found out about the hidden gem that is Colt State Park. One day I was actually scrolling on Instagram and I caught a picture from one of my friends where he had his feet up, these beautiful blue sneakers, and the view he was looking out on was absolutely breathtaking. A stone wall, rippling water, an endless horizon, and full, thick clouds. I asked him where he had taken the picture, and he told me Colt State Park. It's located at Route 114 in Bristol, Rhode Island. It's an easy drive and just 30 minutes from Providence, if that helps you gauge how far it might be from you. It is without a doubt our favorite park in the area. And as you'll see in this video, it has everything you could want in a park and more, with unique features we can't seem to find anywhere else. The first thing I want to talk about is parking. So when you arrive, you'll hit maybe one or two roundabouts. We recommend heading over the small bridge toward the open grounds. There are multiple parking lots along that water route. If it's your first time there, just grab the first parking spot you see. We feel it's best to just get out of your car and start exploring the park and taking in the scenes on foot or on your bike. So don't worry too much about parking. Just park the car, get rid of it, and get out on foot or on a bike. Let's talk about some of the features. So the park's views are simply stunning, and the home run feature of Colt State Park is the water. It brings in a glorious breeze and the sun echoes off the surface brilliantly. Our favorite kind of day is when there are some fluffy clouds floating across the horizon, sun shining through the gaps, and boats floating across the water like toys in the bath. Next up are the walking and bike paths. They're roomy in most places and they snake along the grounds very logically. They'll take you past the water into the back part of the park where you will see deer roaming free and catching naps. And they even deviate outside of the park where you can follow them to restaurants and into small towns. Talking about the paths, by the way, not the deer. Another one of our favorite features of the park are the open grounds. The first time we went, we saw people had set up tents and we thought that was a great idea. So we actually went back the very next day with our tent and did the same thing. It is such a wonderful experience to set up a tent, kick your shoes off, and eat some takeout. You can read a book, you can take a nap. It's these kinds of things that make Colt State Park so unique. We just don't feel these kind of possibilities at other parks. So let's get into our personal recommendations for Colt State Park. Number one, like I said, cross over that small bridge and park in one of the lots. This puts you in the best part of the park, in our opinion. You're close to the open grounds. You've got bike paths. You can go in either direction. And you can even visit the Dreaming Tree, which I'll talk a little bit more about. You definitely want to bring bikes if you can, and if you enjoy biking. The park is fairly expansive, and bikes allow you to enjoy it all while also giving you the option of exploring the paths beyond the grounds. You can explore some really cool areas, and we've actually found some stellar restaurants that were just outside of the park by following some of the bike paths. We do recommend that if you've got it, bring a tent, because this is one of the most fun things to do. I usually don't think about bringing a tent to a park, but this allows you to eat and read a book. We've played chess. We love to listen to music, and bringing the tent takes the experience at Colt State Park to another level. And one of my pro tips is to visit the Dreaming Tree. So there is a large tree whose branches and leaves overhang to the point where you can walk into and under the canopy of it. It's really cool, and you'll feel like a little kid exploring again. Personally, it's one of my favorite trees to climb. It is very climbable, and it's a great workout. And like I said, it just gives you that feeling of childhood again. And in fact, Shiori and I, when we got engaged, went to this tree and carved our initials into it. Probably breaking the rules, probably not the best thing for the tree, but oh well, we're living life, and it was really, really fun. And if you visit this tree, you might see our initials, which would be BG plus SS. So my final thoughts on Colt State Park. This is a truly special place. And if you're lucky to live close enough to it to visit, and you haven't yet, we emphatically recommend it. Even if you're from out of town, we highly recommend putting this place at the top of your list of stops. This is a place for taking in wonderful views, for feeling fresh air touch your skin, and for having adventures and making unforgettable memories. It currently holds a 4.8 rating on Google, and that is out of well over 4,000 reviews. So this is a place that is beloved by the local community and or anyone who has visited it. If you give Colt State Park a try, then please leave us a comment and tell us about your experience. And if you found this review helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. We'll see you in the next video.